Precious is. It's one of those shows happening today. We have a Darkside head. The rest of him's here too, but for now I just am going to creepily stare at the camera while holding this head. Welcome to Sideshow Live, everyone. It's this kind of show. How's it going, everyone? We are here live at Sideshow HQ, and we have a really fun show for you today. Might be a little off the wall, but hey, who cares at this point? It's going to be fun. So we are featuring the Prime One Studios Darkseid figure, featuring this. He has a head. This is just the swap out.
Yeah, he has a body.
He has a body too. He has the whole figures here. There are so many pieces. Anyway, then we have an unboxing of the Freddy Krueger Sixth Scale figure. That's pretty exciting. I'm really pretty excited to get my claws on that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, and because we are unboxing him, we are also giving him away. So if you go to sideshow.com/live contest, you can enter for your chance to win the exact Freddy Krueger that we unbox on the show today. So it's pretty cool. I think so, but that's just me. Then we have a feature on the Black Cat premium art print. We also have her premium format figure to show you how awesome they go together. Then we have a feature on the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn premium format figure and the Suicide Squad The Joker premium format figure with special guest Tim Hansen. Yes. The loudest cheers were Tim cheering for himself. Once again, we'll be doing a couple live giveaways in the chat channels. And there'll be a live Q&A at the end of the show, so be sure to ask us a lot of questions. We have Michael over in YouTube. We have Chicky and Kitty on Facebook. Kitty's also in studio, so she'll be shouting things out. Be sure to be nice over there on Facebook, because Chicky's in the chat.
No sniveling.
No sniveling.
One guy.
Woo Tim. Yeah, you can see one guy. Yeah. Yep. Who'd you pay to write that? Anyway, we are moving on to the news. First up, we have featured collector Shaheed Ibrar. Wow, that collection's pretty neat. I think so, anyway. Oh, there you go. Oh my gosh. So yes, congratulations, Shaheed. You have an amazing collection, very, very stellar looking collection. So if you would like to be a featured collector and be featured on the live show as well as in our blog, you're going to want to go to sideshow.com/blog and hit apply now. So that it's just that simple. And then just show off your collection. We love to see them. And if you just, want to show them off, oh no. Can you hear me now? 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 Anyway, oh well, we're just going to keep talking because apparently some people can't hear us, but there you go. Anyway, if you have a smaller collection or just I don't know, I feel like all collections could be featured collector if you try hard enough. But we do an ongoing hashtag on Instagram that's called the Sideshow Shelfie. And the Sideshow Shelfie is how you can just like for example, if I were to show off a shelfie, I would just take a picture right here to show off the shelf behind me. Yeah? Like shelfie. It's like you're showing, it's a selfie with a shelf in it.
See what we did there?
Yeah. See how clever we are? Super clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we added an H to an already existing thing. Anyway, wow, so Force Friday happened, and I feel like we should all just have an appreciation for what Star Wars does to us on Force Friday. Because, oh my gosh, first off, I give myself a nice little pat on the back because I managed to collect all of the augmented realities all weekend. Woo-hoo! So I went to the mall 3 times on Labor Day weekend to collect all the different augmented realities. I don't know if that makes me awesome or a total loser, but either way, I have them all. So there you go. I was really concerned about the red guard guy, Praetorian guard, because he tries to murder you in the augmented reality. Like, he shows up and he goes like this, like right at you. It's not cool. No, it isn't. It's very not cool. There were a lot of porgs. So that happened. Who's making my voice go back? Yeah. I feel like I hear my voice somewhere echoing in this room, and it's not cool. What else happened this weekend? We had like Labor Day. It was a long weekend. We had global free shipping. That's happened. It ends today. On select items to anywhere we currently ship.
Correct.
Yes. Language.
Right.
Language. Talking is the thing. We also did like free U.S. shipping on a few life-size pieces, which are pretty cool. Got to see a lot of pictures of life-size Eric on our social media. Yeah, but I feel like the thing that happened was Force Friday. You know, like in terms of news, like what other news dropped? It says like read news, like what?
It was a holiday.
Yeah, it was a holiday weekend. We all went to the.
Bowl?
Yeah, John Williams was at the Hollywood Bowl. That was pretty cool. Most of us slept and/or went to the beach or pools. Yeah.
Burbank was on fire.
Yeah. It was 2 miles from my house, guys. How many porgs are in the Gal Cove? Joe Lombardo wants to know. So many porgs. I counted. Kitty, how many did I count? I counted at one point, and I got a new one in the mail today. So it's something like, I think there's 9. I have a flock of porgs. Let's just go with
Is that
that.
what they're called? When it's a group of porgs?
I mean, I imagine most birds flock. I mean, it's like yeah.
But crows are called murders. So maybe
Yeah,
it's a murder.
crows are a murder. It's a murder porg. A gaggle of geese. All right, so what are puffins? Because these things are space puffins. Anyway,
If anybody can answer.
if anyone can answer in chat, someone made homemade slushies this past weekend. So I feel like there's porgs in the office. Do you just hear that? Anyway, so whoever made homemade slushies, you're my friend. Ooh, a mob of porgs. I like that. A mob of porgs. Anyway, I have way too many porgs, and I got a new one today.
Google
So
says it's called a circus of puffins.
a circus of
porgs.
a circus of porgs. Oh,
I'm not sure about that answer.
oh my God. I mean, there's a murder of crows, so there could be a circus of puffins. Anyway, enough about bird trivia. Let's get you our first video and move on to our next segment, which will be the feature on the Darkside by Prime One Studio. The body, not just the awkward head. You're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back. Hey guys, we have something really cool to show you. Are we going to do the camera move? Let's do the camera move. Let's do the camwer move.
Right now?
Yeah, do it now. Do it now. And here's Darkside. Good job, Jimmy. Anyway, so this is huge. I'm pretty sure it's as big as my niece. Yeah. So this is the Darkseid Statue from Prime One Studios. This is the prototype, and it's the only one that exists. So if I break it, that will be very bad for me and my job security.
Slower.
I know. I'm going to go really slow. He's in development and he's manufactured in partnership with Prime One Studios. Honestly, he looks like he's gonna punch me right now. It's kind of amazing. He's just really big. I will measure him with the official Sideshow tape measure, but I want to say that he is the size of a small child. Yeah. This is like at least the size of a 1-year-old.
Oh,
He's 1-to-1 Ewok size.
He's 1-to-1 Ewok sized. He's the size of 16
this
porgs.
is a life-size Ewok for sure.
Life-size Ewok.
I thought it was a small child in the hallway yesterday.
Oh my god,
It
for
was
real?
hilarious. I made someone come and look with me. I was like, that's a child.
Kitty thought this was a small child in the hallway who was just being incredibly still.
You never know.
That's good.
We're gonna need a bigger apple, says Ian Musgrave, and you're not wrong. Perhaps this is the size of the apple, most likely.
Right. Or the
Yeah.
mic on the table, you know.
Yeah, this is about apple sized. He comes with a swap out portrait. This is Darkseid. He's inspired by Darkseid's appearance in the new 52 from the Justice League. He stands approximately 35 inches tall. His exclusive will be this mouth-closed alternate portrait. He is currently available for pre-order, so head on over to sideshow.com/darkside. He ships next year. Oh, apparently I've been told to stand up because, well, I'm going to have to stand up in order to measure this thing. He's on a tourney, which is an official thing. Wow, he is 32 inches tall. Yeah. He's actually a little bit above 32 inches tall. And Dave Igo always likes us to measure the depth. Oh, look, I can hide behind the whole thing.
You mentioned a prototype, so we don't know what
Yeah.
yet.
This is the prototype.
So we don't know weight.
Oh, yeah, so we don't know, we can't tell you the weight of him because prototypes usually weigh a little bit different
Yeah, maybe
from the
other things.
what it's actually going to be like. Yeah, this is definitely probably the size of mine. Yes, he probably is tall enough to ride rides at Disneyland. At least select rides. Like, maybe not Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, but Pinocchio's Daring Adventure, like that type of thing. Anyway, give him a hug. Okay. Have to be really careful, prototype, so no touching, hug. Yep. There you go. So you should do a contest where people guess the size. Well, I just told you the size. He's 32 inches tall. How many porgs weigh as much as him? But we don't know how much he weighs because he is a prototype, and they usually weigh a bit more when they come back. And it's the shipping sample. Yeah, the shipping samples always weigh more. He's about 2 feet across. Wow. So again, he's gonna ship sometime next year. Looks like the summer of next year. So you have some time. Do we offer payment plans on him? Yes, we do offer payment plans on him. So you could go to sideshow.com/darkside now. You know, put down your NR, non-refundable deposit, NRD. Day Smith, does he come with a divorce attorney gift certificate? No.
No, you're on your own there.
You're on your own there, but I can relate. Anyway, so yeah, he's huge. You might want to like do some sort of custody arrangement, since it is like, you know, owning a child, because you own them. Anyway, 144 porgs. I don't know what that means. Yeah, you do need another house just to house statues like this. Everybody needs a statue house. First, please buy each and every Sideshow employee one, because I think we all need them individually. Anyway. Wow, so any more questions about Darkseid?
It's just 30 centimeters, but very close to the camera.
Yes, it's this big. Jimmy Olsen just has some really great camera tricks. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, so if we don't have any more questions, I have another video to show you, and then we'll come back and unbox Freddy Krueger. Sound good? Sound good. All right, you're watching Sideshow Live. We will be right back. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
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 Hi. I'm just reading because this is the first week the comments have been back on a screen, so I can see what you guys are saying. Oh my god. Oh my god. So apparently someone was getting a rental car and had to stop to watch the show, and then like got their rental car, and now they're back watching the show. So
Are they watching from in the car?
please don't drive and watch the show. We don't condone.
Drive and live at the same time.
Yeah, no driving live. Don't drive in live. Oh my god. Good job.
Someday we'll have self-driving cars. and then
Yeah.
you can do whatever you
Yeah.
want.
Self-driving cars would be amazing. Anyway, let's unbox this Freddy Krueger, right? I'm pretty excited. I haven't actually gotten to unbox him yet, so this is part of like my favorite part of hosting the show is being able to like play with everything that comes out. It's pretty cool. There are 2 layers to this. Can't fake this.
Can't take that.
Yeah. I didn't break it. It's supposed to be a wraparound.
The mic is
The mic is what?
in the way.
Oh. Well, sorry, Jimmy. I'm just going to take him out. So, what is everyone's favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie? I like the first one. And then I also like when he fights Jason. Because, I don't know, I just think that that's really funny. Sorry. Unpopular opinion of the day. No, I like the first Freddy vs. Jason movie just because, like, it's so funny. No, it's not? I mean, it's scary. It's really scary. What? Here. I'm gonna just move stuff so we can see him. Wow. Now, one of our, I don't know what his title is, but someone who works here is like one of the biggest fans ever of Freddy Krueger. So we had to we had to make sure that he kind of approved of especially the sweater, since he's very picky about the sweaters that Freddy Krueger wears.
They're all different.
Yeah, they're all different. So he had to make sure that we told you guys the right movie that it was from. And I believe he's from the
Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors. The third one, because both him and Jason are both from their third movies.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
The production gallery update on the blog says Dream Warriors.
Wow.
Which is the best Freddy.
The best Freddy movie? The best Freddy movie is number 3, according to Tim, is Dream Warriors. Really? Why do you say that?
Because it's amazing.
It is amazing. I also like New Nightmare.
Sucks. Somebody
I know. I'm sorry.
Nobody likes that one.
Yep.
I haven't seen any of them, but I think the first one just left Netflix. I was gonna try to watch it before. It
But the
left
first
Netflix.
one or the first remake?
Gigantic masterpiece.
The very
Oh, okay.
first one.
All right. Yeah, no, Johnny Depp is amazing. But it's all about this guy.
Michael wants you on camera.
Michael, oh, come here. Michael wants you on camera. Come here. That's Michael.
Who's Michael?
Michael's a fake name. It's Michael who's a fake name.
Talk about Freddy.
Come here and talk about Freddy.
Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna be on the next segment anyway. You might as well talk about this
Well, let's
one.
just get this over with. Then.
Yeah.
Share, my friend.
All right.
All right.
Yay.
Can I
You
roll
just
in?
roll on in.
Roll in.
Okay.
Hey.
Hi, Susan.
Hey, guy who's definitely not Tim Hansen.
The chair's gone.
No, this is fine. I'm shorter than Susan in real life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. Hey, what do we got here? This is pretty cool.
Yeah, this is the Freddy Krueger 6th Scale figure.
Sweet.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about him?
Well, it's obviously from the best one ever, Dream Warriors, for many reasons.
So why is Dream Warriors the best
Well,
one?
because the kids all get to go in and kind of fight him in the dream state, and they, the one kid turns into a wizard, which is awesome, and the deaths are so fantastic in that movie. So
There you
yeah,
go.
I mean, I don't see
I
what else you
mean,
need.
what-
It's perfection.
If there's wizards in it, I'm on board.
You remember? Yeah, that's great. So yeah, this is Freddy, looking great.
Yeah. So
Actually-
he comes with Freddy's iconic sweater, and that's what it says in the notes.
It is iconic.
It says
yes.
Freddy's iconic sweater. He comes with one pair of pants, which also.
I have one pair.
Yeah, well, I know,
Which
but
is
it
correct.
specifically says
Very
that in the
accurate.
notes.
One pair of
that
pants.
he has one pair of pants.
Inaccurate. One pair.
We nailed that one.
He includes.
A lot of laundry.
Yeah. Well, he lives in a boiler room, so maybe he just steams everything. Yeah. Well, I imagine the sweater, like, because of the material, wouldn't it shrink?
If he were to try to clean this thing,
Uh-huh.
yeah, he probably shouldn't. I mean, it looks pretty worn and disgusting, so I don't think he actually does it.
Well-
Which is probably why he switches it every movie.
Yeah.
Too.
Because he's like, got a new sweater. Better
Yeah.
wear this one all through this 2 hours of events.
Yeah, mostly 90-minute timeline, but yeah, you're close enough. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So dark brown pants.
So he comes with one pair of pants.
This is an important note too because there's a lot of debate on the color of Freddy's pants.
Really?
Yes, there is. That's why
Who
Ricky
doesn't
always
think
gets
they're
mad at us.
brown?
Well, Ricky doesn't, for one.
But why doesn't he? Why?
He wears very, very dark, like brown, sometimes gray
So is
pants.
this like the Han blue or brown debate?
Kind of. Well, on the screen, it mostly comes across like he's wearing black pants. So, after tons of research, we find that they were actually dark brown or gray.
Oh, I always thought they were brown because they matched the sweater. Because why would you wear black pants with the sweater?
I don't know how much that matters, but
It's just something. I don't know. Like he's wearing a brown and red striped sweater. Why would he wear black pants? It doesn't make
amazing
any
you
sense.
think
to
of
me.
it that way because I think black would go with everything. Really,
You
But,
would think black would go with everything, but I mean, you're the costume guy.
Well,
so.
yeah, not this long ago, but I think they made good
Well,
decisions.
this
for
long
sure.
ago, you were an infant.
I
So
was, yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, which is about when I saw this movie too, which is nice.
Weird. You saw this movie when you were an infant.
I was much too young to watch these things, so that's why I love them so much. Too.
I saw them when I was much too young.
Yes.
Because my dad was like, I would try to watch them behind the couch when my dad was watching them, and he would pause the movie and he said, "If you're gonna watch it, get out here and watch it." So.
Yeah. Oh, he would just sit my brothers and I in front of the screen and tell us to watch it, despite our tears and not being able to sleep for weeks.
Yeah, I
so-
had like a little sleeping bag that I would roll out on the floor of my parents' room and then roll it back. Like I would get up before they woke up, and like I totally thought I was being sneaky when I was like 6, but my parents like later in life were like, "Yeah, we totally knew you slept in our room."
Yeah,
for a week.
for sure.
Like no.
My parents had to start locking their door actually because I would keep running in because I was terrified.
So did you just watch these as a child, or
Oh,
did you
no.
watch all kinds of scary
All
movies?
kinds of really scary stuff. Yeah, but
Wow.
lots of Nightmare on Elm Streets and
Yeah, lots of Friday the 13th also.
yeah, Halloween big time.
Does the hat come off of his head? No, the hat does not come off of his head.
No,
I don't want to see
stop
that.
doing that.
I don't want to see that.
Stop it.
He's fully articulated, so you have to show the range of motion. Yeah.
He does have that.
He includes 2 different takes on the character's bladed hands, including one open and one gesturing. Yeah. See? He also has burned up hands in here. And this one's like, yeah.
Finger
That's his
point.
exclusive.
That's the exclusive
That's
hand.
the one. Yeah.
Exclusive alternate pointing gloved hand. Exclusive. Boom. BMR CGI asks, do you guys ever get access to production assets for reference, or do you have to gather it all yourself from previously released media? That's a great question.
That is a great question. Yeah. I mean, for us, it really depends on the property and kind of how much is available at the time. But for most of the old horror stuff, we have to go through the same assets that everybody else has to do. So we do a lot of R&D for the books and definitely in the movies. But yeah, not for these characters, it's a little trickier to get like, original super rare stuff as reference to use. So.
Wow. Do you think Freddie could have become a world-class chef?
Well, I'm glad you asked because
Can you make a sweet pizza at one point?
yes,
Can you
yes, he
imagine
did.
if you had an itch?
Oh my god. Well, if he has an itch, he has these nice ungloved hands.
Right.
In order to scratch
Yes, lovely,
the-
lovely hamburger hands there.
yes.
I will not claw his body apart.
So he has. Well, this fist won't really help with an itch.
It'll punch the edge.
If you want to
Had
punch
one so
the
bad
itch.
you just want to sock
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you could be like.
Yeah, it's a noogie. You could noogie
Yeah.
yourself.
Emily Lind wants to know your favorite horror franchise, Tim.
Oh, well, Emily. Favorite horror franchise.
Well,
This is tough because I think my favoritist
His
horror
favoritist.
favoritist is important. My favoritist, like singular horror, and I think a lot of horror franchises end up going in super bizarre directions.
Like Freddy versus Jason.
Correct, right? Which is so good.
It's so good.
But like Halloween, for example, Halloween 1 is probably my favorite horror movie ever. But I can't say that that's my favorite horror franchise. Same with Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is horrifying.
So scary.
But they're all like kind of enjoyable. They just, can tend to go off in pretty crazy, silly tangents. Yeah.
Poltergeist
Poltergeist
scared
is a
me
winner.
so much.
So yeah.
I kicked a mattress off my bed and hid behind it. I kicked the mattress off my bed strategically because there was a clown under my bed,
I think they made
Oh.
Can't
and I
sleep.
and I wanted
Yeah.
to see to make sure. Yeah,
That's terrifying.
no,
Yeah.
not good.
So I guess like it's kind of like cherry picking when it comes to horror
I have
franchises.
tickets to it already. Yeah, to it. Literal. I have tickets to it already. I'm really excited about the
You're
It.
happy about that decision?
Yeah.
Good.
It's getting really good.
So
It's gonna
far,
be
so good.
It's gonna be awesome.
So far, so good. Is Freddie Edward Scissorhands' angry older brother? That's a mashup I don't want to see.
Facebook is asking if Freddie or Edward Scissorhands would be the better hairstylist.
Edward Scissorhands.
I think we already have the answer
Yeah,
to
I was
that
like,
question.
Edward Scissorhands.
Whole movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say Edward Scissorhands.
Specifically
for sure.
about how good he was at that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
movie's all about that.
It is.
Plus, I feel like Freddie just wants to kill you. So, who do I want to cut my hair? The guy who cuts hair or the guy who kills people?
Right. There's also a whole dream state thing that Freddie
Yeah.
comes to that we're kind of not
I do like to
mentioning.
sleep though. So if I could get my hair cut while also sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. Well, thanks for coming on a couple segments early, but we have a video to show you, and then we're going to come back to some black... What?
It's a contest to win this.
Oh yeah, there's a contest to win him.
Contest.
Yeah. We unbox things and then we give them away. So if you go to sideshow.com/live contest, you can enter for your chance to win this exact Freddy that Tim and I have messed with and posed a bunch.
Good.
Which isn't going to matter because we'll put it back in the box for you. Isn't that cool? Anyway.
That's nice of us.
Yeah, we're gonna put it. We're not just gonna ship it to you like this with Tim inside. Who
No,
owns it.
I'm sorry. There'll be
Yeah.
none of that going on.
Or he is still available, so you could go to sideshow.com/Freddie and purchase one of these yourself. We're gonna watch a video now. Is that okay? Is that okay? Off camera, Brit.
That's okay.
Okay. Off camera, Brit says it's okay to show you the Black Cat video and then bring out some
Great.
Black Cat stuff for us to talk about.
Cool.
You're watching Sideshow Live. We will be right back. So, who'd we catch on camera?
Nobody.
Nobody? Okay, I think that can go here so it's not blocking anything. Wow. Hi, we have lots of black cat things. She's pretty. This is about Freddie. So, first up, we're going to show you a little bit of this black cat premium format figure. We did an entire live show just about her. Like a week ago, right? Whenever she first came in, we were just like, got so excited that she was here that we did an entire live show just about Black Cat, which was not my idea at all. She's not one of my favorite characters. I had nothing to say about her at all. Yeah, we absolutely didn't have my personal opinions about how awesome she is on that show. Anyway, this is Black Cat. She's pretty, and if you would like to know everything you could possibly know about her, and then things you probably didn't want to know, but I told you anyway, go into our Facebook videos and check out that Black Cat live stream that's just about her.
Her exclusive is down to 20 pieces.
Her exclusive is low quantity, so it's down to 20 pieces. Her exclusive is this little bag of stolen items. I imagine they're jewels, but they could really be anything because she's coming out of an explosion.
It could be some takeout.
It could be takeout. She could be really hungry. Like fighting in this battle with all of the other Spider-Man PFs could have been really exhausting, and she was like, peace out. I really want some takeout.
Free US shipping on her right now.
Oh, free US shipping on her right now. There's no excuse not to get her. There's less than 20 exclusives.
350 pieces.
Of a 350 piece run, there's less than 20 left. Free US shipping right now. And come Friday, you can pre-order this amazing premium art print, which we're actually here to talk about. Oh my gosh. So you could have like a full Black Cat collection thing going on, and that would be amazing. Do we have Spider-Man fans in the house? I feel like we should.
I think we do meow.
We do meow. Oh my god. Is this bad joke day? We've had so many bad jokes happen today. Meow. Who's meowing? Oh, Chicky was meowing. This is the Black Cat Premium art print. Am I too far from the mic? Are we still good? I know that sometimes with art prints, I talk to the art print instead of the mic. So, this is by Alex Pasenko, which I learned how to say his name correctly from Dave Igo. Thank you, Dave Igo. Alex Pasenko, this is a perfect companion piece to our Black Cat statue. Oh, what? What? Look, it's like this is your living room that you could possibly have. Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And then you take a picture, send it to us.
Mm-hmm. So this is your living room. Take a picture, hashtag Sideshow Shelfie, and you could win something because we just search that hashtag sometimes and just give people things. Because we're like, oh, you have a Black Cat art print and a Black Cat premium format figure? You should probably have a Spider-Man, and then we'll just send you one. It's that easy to enter our contest, guys. Super cool. Anyway, this print size is only 300 pieces, so it's also a pretty low edition for some of our art prints. That's really amazing. It's a fine art giclée print. It is authorized, and it's an authorized automated pencil signature with an embossed seal of authenticity. Pre-orders for the framed edition, this lovely framed edition right here, will begin this Friday, September 8th, between noon and 3 p.m. Pacific time, and that is priced at $250. If supplies are available, if this doesn't sell out immediately, which hopefully it does, because you guys are all getting it to go with your Black Cat premium format figure that you just bought with free US shipping. Yeah? So, if supplies are available, the unframed version will go on sale Monday, September 11th between noon and 3 p.m. priced at $90. So, plus, we are giving one of these away on the RSVP page. So be sure to enter for a chance to win this amazing print. Wow. So,
Take it right there.
yeah, I know. There's a lot of information. The short link for this is sideshow.com/bcprint. So sideshow.com/bcprint. Right there?
Right there.
Yeah, right there. Little lower.
Yeah.
Right there. Little lower. Keep going.
There you go.
Right there.
Keep-
Right. This is getting really weird. I'm not a masseuse, guys.
Okay.
All right. So, of course, you all probably know this since we talk about it every week, but if you go to facebook.com/sideshow art prints, that's where you get all the latest news and all the latest updates on all of the art prints. We also sometimes tell you guys a little bit early when things go up for pre-order. So if you either, you need to be there. If you dig art prints, you basically need to be there. There's like no other option. I mean, in my opinion. It's like not, like why would you not want all the first news? I'm the type of person that I want to know the first, like I want to know the first things about everything. So I would want to be a part of that page.
Turn on the notifications.
Yeah, turn on notifications. And to answer, some people have been asking about why there are delayed notifications. That's Facebook. Like we post stuff, and if you guys aren't getting notifications, maybe check your settings. But that's a Facebook thing, and we don't own Facebook as much as we want to. We can't control everything they
That'll be
do.
a few more dark
Yeah, even though, yeah, we want to control them, but we can't.
Does Instagram have better?
Instagram does have really great notifications because as soon as people post there, you get like a text. It's like my phone like buzzes like it's a text. So Instagram's really great. Twitter also is really great like that, which we do go live on Instagram and Twitter. We do an Instagram after party. That's after this show every week. We do this actually also broadcasts on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and various other places that I'm not even sure. Michael's our man in the chair, so he kind of clicks things. So I don't even know where we're broadcasting.
Maybe we're broadcasting in space.
Yeah, we could be in space. We could be in an alternate Marvel timeline. I don't know.
This will be the first signal the aliens get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really upsetting. I'm so sorry, aliens, that this is the first thing you see. Anyway, we have another video. And then we will come back with Tim Hansen again and his Suicide Squad Harley and Suicide Squad Joker premium format figures. You're watching Sideshow Live. We will be right back. Hey. What's going on, everyone? This is Tim Hansen.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Tim.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for having me on again.
I was
soon.
like, when? I was like, this is the first time you've been on, but
Well,
then you second segment. But it's
Yeah.
you haven't ever been on the show before,
First
so
time.
we need to do a proper welcome.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody in the comments can feel free to ask Tim questions. So Tim, what do you do?
I am the costume fabrication manager here at Sideshow.
So what does that entail?
So I run the cut and sew department and also do a lot of these pieces on my own. So fabric and a lot of research, obviously, on all these, and then actually designing the patterns and sewing them all together. And building prototypes.
Kind
I
of
do.
did an excellent job on all of these.
Thank you.
So, wow. So which parts, so these are fabric
Those
types?
are fabric, yeah.
Wow,
We
okay.
found the tiniest little,
Yeah,
nice little hex
oh my gosh.
shaped tights that we could there.
Wow.
Super excited about that. So also important to know, on my team is Esther, who actually handled all of Harley, and she did a phenomenal job there. She is a rock star.
So my question of you worked alongside Esther for these pieces, correct?
That is correct. Yes. We jumped the gun. Jumped the gun a little bit. I was so excited about telling everybody about Esther. Sorry about that, guys. Won't go off script again.
So can you tell us some of the challenges of creating like a quarter scale piece of like costume for these pieces? You know,
Sure.
like these are screen accurate pieces, so you're trying to match something that you saw in an actual person and size it down for
Correct.
for these amazing mixed media statues.
Yeah. Always very challenging. These two, pretty much we pretty much pulled out every hat out of the book. What? Every trick out of the hat. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Out of the trick book, we pulled out of the hat. All right,
We pulled
cool.
a trick book out of a hat,
that's
and
what we
then
did.
Tim read it.
Okay, that's great.
Neither one of these characters have either one.
No,
Yeah.
no, of course
and
not.
there are no hats or involved.
No,
Or books.
no, I
Or
apologize.
books.
Neither of them. Anyway,
So that's
so we pulled all of our tricks out of the hat for both of these, and because they're movie costumes, obviously you have a direct comparison to something you can turn on and watch at any time. So we wanted to make sure we got as many beautiful details on these, and both of these costumes were pretty intense pieces, both in patterning and in design.
I did something really awkward, but so are her shorts sculpted?
Her shorts are sculpted. Also, her
Her
shirt.
is sculpted, but
Yes.
the property of the Joker jacket is fabric.
Correct. Yeah. So on Harley,
Ryan
yes.
on Facebook wants to know if you have freeform patterns or are you making these patterns up?
So thank you, Ryan. That's a great question. I think what's really the coolest aspect of this job is every single piece is so unique that it's super rare when it comes to clothing a statue to be able to just pull out a pattern and use it, because these are both, while they don't look like it, they're both fully asymmetrical, as in both sleeves are different on both sides, left and right, front and back. They're all unique shapes to kind of accommodate for the pose that these characters are in.
So Joe Lombardo wants to know, has your team ever explored making alternate outfits for existing releases?
Has the team ever explored that? Yes, we certainly have. Usually early in the design phase. In the 2D phase, we'll decide which version of a costume we'll do for a character. And the Joker went through a few
Sorry, I'm just...
different ones. Obviously he had some different outfits in Suicide Squad, but we felt as the most definitive statement we can make, this was the outfit that we went with.
So do you have any input on what fabrics should and shouldn't be used on pieces? Jeff wants to know.
I have tons of input, yes.
And then he wants to, I think his question is actually, do you have any input to what should or shouldn't be fabric components on pieces? That's
yes.
different. That's a totally different question.
That is different. And yes, that's something we talk about as well early in the design phase. We kind of call out what we want to be a mixed media piece versus what's sculpted.
So then my question is, so why would her shorts be sculpted? Like, why was that? Like, why would the shorts be sculpted but her tights not be?
So both on Harley, the shorts and her T-shirt were sculpted, and we did that really as part of control. Her T-shirt, for example, the way it wraps her body, where the rips kind of settle on there, we wanted to make sure maintained, because she has a fabric jacket that can move over the top of that. So we kept that as a hard place. Her shorts as well, we decided, because it was a tiny sequin that's actually on her in the first place. We felt that in sculpt and through paint we could get really the best out of that.
Wow.
Yeah, going that route. So her fishnets we decided to do because fishnets, especially that tiny, are incredibly difficult to paint. Incredibly difficult. So Kat, who heads our paint department, was really grateful that we found something that small.
Especially fishnets on top of tattoos that are painted.
Also, exactly. If you want to add anything more difficult, it's adding net over tattoos. So we got those, and it's a really cool added dimension
So
to put
Kitty,
over
I
the
think,
top.
has a question for you.
Yes,
Yeah,
Kitty.
so Ruben on Facebook asks, how do you put the clothes on the statue?
Yeah, that's a good question also. So each one is broken down as our sculptors are working on these pieces with Will for Harley and with Matt for Joker. It's really kind of an intricate process where the sculptor has to understand how much stuff needs to basically be removed from the body. So these Joker breaks down, both of his arms come off. He breaks at the waist as well, and that kind of helps. Obviously with the tights, one of his legs breaks off as well. So everything really kind of disconnects and is keyed all back in very specifically, depending on what the character's doing.
Wow.
Another question from Facebook. Catherine wants to know, how often do you have to custom fabricate the fabrics as opposed to just sourcing something that's already available?
So Catherine on Facebook wants to know how often Tim has to actually fabricate the fabrics versus finding something that's actually available.
That is a great segue into talking about the Joker, and a good question, Catherine. For the Joker trench coat, for example, our initial testing was done since I didn't think it would be possible to find fabric that was this, kind of micro alligator skin, which it is, and we wanted to make sure the scale.
Micro alligator skin.
Correct. Yeah, if that wasn't hard enough to find as it is. So we actually, our graphics department generated the files, and we started print testing to see if we can get the right scale and everything. So originally this was going to be all printed. Fortunately, our production partners were able to find this somehow over in their markets, pretty much the exact scale and size and look that we were going for. So
wow.
I would say most of the time we're able to find things that suit our needs for costume, but there is a good chunk of time, especially implementing things like printing and stuff like that, where we have to do full custom.
Because you told me a story when Kylo Ren was coming out that you guys definitely had to have that fabric because of the way it moved in the movie and the way it was, the process it went through in the movie. In order to get it screen accurate, you had to put fabric through the same process for a quarter scale figure.
That's correct. Yeah, and they were.
Catherine says that the purple alligator print was exactly why she asked that question.
There you go, Catherine.
There you go.
Thank you. That was it right there. For Kylo was a full custom job as well, and I looked everywhere online and obviously all the stores that we have access to for something that specific. Kylo is a very interesting weave that Lucasfilm was really adamant about us getting right on. So we ended up doing a full print process over the top and making sure that it had the same texture and appearance as it did in the movie.
So a couple of questions from YouTube now. What was the most complex project you ever did, and what was your favorite? Those are from Mario and Yiru, respectively.
Okay, so I'll start with complex. I think what's the other one? Difficult or favorite? Okay,
It's most complex.
Okay, so let me. So I would say actually up to Joker, because the jacket alone on Joker was incredibly difficult to do. Years ago, we had done a Nathan Drake from Uncharted 3, and he was jumping over a wall. So when we're designing this thing, they showed me pictures of what they were doing, and it had to be. He had a ton of leather work, number one, and they wanted to do a full costume on the thing. So when something is in that action-based of a pose, it's extremely tricky to pattern around that. It making look like there's a guy who's in pants and a shirt that's jumping over a wall. So his leg was way up, and the other one was bent, and
his hand was like
his hand was down there.
Piece.
Was holding his, So that was probably the trickiest one to do. That took quite some time. My favorite was the other one, and that was. I guess I have favorites for different reasons, but I think the first premium format I did back in the day was Army of Darkness Ash, which is my favoriteest movie of all time. So that was a huge honor and fun. And the other one is our first premium format Joker, the comic book version.
Oh,
because that was our first DC piece officially. I got a lot of input on that, and we got such a good response, and it was just a huge, everything surrounding that piece makes it really special to me.
You're getting a lot of compliments about the Nathan Drake and how amazing it came out.
Thank you. Thanks,
so
guys.
That's pretty cool.
Wow, that was a tough one.
So where do you get smaller pieces like buttons or zippers for, like buttons or, she has a J on her zipper. I imagine
she does have a J.
Pretty specific.
That was.
But where do you get these things?
That was definitely custom for Harley. That J turns out is not an easy find around anywhere.
And not an easy find in quarter scale?
No.
Surprise.
No, yeah, that's true. That was a tough one. For Joker, I guess a broad answer to that question is a lot of times we'll look in the sections at like Michael's or Joann's, or even when I'm downtown in LA, we'll look at little bits and bobs and just find kind of dome shape or something that could look like it's about the right size. There's been several times where we have to do a custom printed or custom sculpted button just to make sure. Our Heath Ledger Joker, for example, had several different sizes of buttons that all were so specific that we wanted to make sure that we got them all the right size and everything.
So someone was asking about the measurements on these. Harley's about 20 inches tall, and he's about 21 inches tall. So they are taller figures. Maybe it's just that Tim and I are also tall people.
Right.
So
I did raise
we're-
my chair since the
So
Freddy thing.
we're because the Batman statue collector was concerned that they seemed small for quarter scale. These are definitely quarter scale figures. You just have two taller size comparisons.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that's the truth of the matter is that I'm 5'9" and you're well over 6 feet tall. So
Right. Yeah. Sorry.
there you go.
Probably not the best size
What-
reference against these things.
What type of hat would you recommend for a premium format R2? like a cowboy hat, or a
I'm calling
fez?
bowler.
Or a fez?
Fez would be lovely.
A
I think
bowler with
is
one monocle.
monocle, mustache, bowler. I think that's pretty much R2.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be my recommendation.
And Viper JJR wants to know what got you started sewing small costumes.
Well, Viper JJR, that was kind of an accident.
you
how
can
I
look
got
at
in
his
here.
artist profile.
You can do that as well. Yes. I started sewing when I was 16, 17.
And
it was
what
the
was your first
shimmer.
thing?
Yes.
What was the first thing you sewed by yourself?
That would be my Jedi robe that I took my senior portrait in for high school, which is really cool.
So when you guys ask us questions like, do real geeks work at Sideshow? Yes.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. Also my artist profile. It's
Yeah, that's
immortalized
how
in
I
there for
found out
forever.
that information. That's how I knew Tim and I were going to be best friends.
Yep, that's what did it right there. Was
Mm-hmm.
that photo? So it was that summer that my mom basically just walked me through a very generic pattern making thing, and my mom had sewed many years before for my older siblings, and I just took to it. I really enjoyed it. So after that, I had made another robe, and then I started on capes, and then as I was buying these commercial patterns that were only $1 or $2, shirts and shorts and pants and stuff, I just kind of took off with it. So I guess the small costumes thing, I had costumed a Boba Fett full size for a friend of mine who was doing a cosplay at the time, and he was also working here, and he said that Sideshow needed somebody that knows how to sew, and I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'd never sewed anything small before, and it just kind of worked out. They gave me a little project, and I would never hire what I turned in back in the day, but I think they really needed some assistance in the sewing department. So I just gave it my best, and from there I took my first project ever was the Yavin Luke 6th scale yellow ceremonial jacket.
Oh,
First one.
that's so cool.
Yeah, that was good memories.
Everybody wants to see your yearbook picture now. I'm really sorry.
I don't look anything like this, by the way.
His profile in the chat.
Okay, so if you're in Facebook,
Yes.
Tim's artist profile is in the Facebook chat. So maybe Michael should do that in YouTube. That way y'all can see. Because I believe the picture's in your artist profile.
Oh no, it is. It definitely is. Yeah, absolutely.
And tell them where they can get it under our story on the site.
Oh, under our story on the site,
Yep.
you can
There's a category,
there's a
artist
little
profiles.
tab, our story, and you can get the artist profiles there.
Oh man.
Menu bar.
Yeah.
Have you ever made something for the prototype that you couldn't get the material when it went into production? That's what Notman05 says. Notman?
Oh, man.
Do you not exist, or are you just a woman?
Not man 05. You ever made something? That is a good question. Yes, actually, there has been a few instances. I think one of the trickier parts is trying to maintain the appearance of prototypes. Of course, when people get them, when it comes to fabric and stuff, it can. If we go something a little more specialized, for example, some of the Court of the Dead figures, usually we use pretty rich and interesting materials on there. So. When we send them through the production process, we go through a lot of swatches all the time, and some of them take. Aglovale is a great example. Actually, that comes to mind. We found something really special here that was basically in the bottom of a box in like a fabric storage warehouse, it had such a cool little pattern on it. We thought we'd use it for something, which we ended up using on him. Which, of course, then we're kind of asking for more trouble when it comes to the production process, because how do you source something that is that tricky and that intricate to find? So there was a lot of back and forth there, but I think I'm really pleased with what we ended up going with on that one, because it was still very. He has a very interesting. Just how that fabric was woven was pretty kind of cool. So yes, it does happen, but the goal always when we start is to see if we can maintain. Joker, actually, we're already maintained. This is the same material that we'll be using throughout production as well.
Wow.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple questions on Facebook. Some people want to know if you have to work with super tiny sewing machines or specialized tools.
Yes.
Everyone asks that.
Yes, I love this question.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to output a super tiny little gnome machine to just sit in my office because I get that so frequently.
Quarter scale sewing
A
machine.
quarter scale sewing machine
I'm
and then a
in-
6 scale sewing
And
machine.
then me sitting at both of them,
Like-
looking super uncomfortable in my back brace.
And
No,
Esther rolling her eyes at you, just like,
poor thing. No, we use very regular full-size sewing machines. I have an industrial Sunstar that I used actually primarily for Joker, and my Janome is a computerized machine that I've used for about 10 years now. So that's my go-to.
wow.
Regular size machines, everybody. This is an important note.
Batman statue collector. I feel like this is a very obvious question considering the username, but is there a possibility of any additional Suicide Squad pieces? There's always a possibility. Yeah, there's always a
I
possibility.
suppose.
Alicia from Facebook wants to know if you've ever had to start a project over.
Alicia from Facebook wants to know, has he ever had to start a project over?
Alicia from Facebook. So many times. So many times. Many, many, many times. Yes. Yes.
More than fine.
More than 5. Pretty regularly do I do that, actually. I think when it comes to the process, my process anyway, as I'm figuring these things out, because they're all asymmetrical, I tend to, you have to keep compensating for things when you're patterning. So number one, it always depends on which material you're going to use. And the Joker, back to how difficult this guy was, for example, this material is a little bit thicker than I normally go. Even though in scale it works very well, that just added to that much more difficulty because I'm patterning for a quarter-size figure. So this one took a lot of just small, tiny manipulation here and there and here and there. And at one point, it had to kind of reset. So after I take a long walk and think about what I'm doing with my life, then I can come back, and there's screaming involved, certainly. It can be very
downstairs.
frustrating.
Really
Thank you, Susan.
awkward.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice of you to say that.
We have 2 more questions.
Yes.
Those are dual questions. Oh my gosh, look at the size of your hands. We don't believe you hand sew. Do you hand sew?
Oh my gosh. Look at the
Does
size
Tim
of your hands.
hand sew? We're just going to repeat that part.
I have to hand sew all the time. Thank you for that question. That's lovely. Yes.
Do you even sew, bro? Like,
Well, you know I sew.
I have a question from YouTube. It was just it was from the Paradox Nerd.
the Paradox Nerd.
Paradox
I wanted
nerd.
to know if you ever get to check out the real movie props when designing costumes.
Do you?
Oh,
There's actually, we did like a blog on that one time that you got to go to the prop place, and he was holding, you had Luke's actual Bespin jacket.
yes.
You were holding Han's actual blaster.
Yes.
It was pretty amazing.
Yes.
If
Were you
you,
wearing your Jedi robe?
I'd rather not say at this time.
you
yes.
can check,
Yes.
it was like, we got the pictures back from photography, and Tim, like, you know when you get those glimpses into people, like when you get to see like what they were like as a child, like that was what we saw in Tim. He's holding Han Solo's blaster, like just looking like Christmas morning 10-year-old Tim.
It's amazing. It
Yeah.
really is. And we have such good relationships with these companies, and they're so gracious with their time and letting us really research these things. I mean, we have several documented occasions where we went to the WB archive, let's say, and they've been so helpful and really played a significant role in us getting to be able to study the original pieces. So yes, there's a lot of time. I think one of the most memorable ones we got to see both all the BVS stuff, Man of Steel stuff, Harry Potter, a lot of that stuff.
It was pretty cool seeing Catwoman from Batman Returns, that original costume,
Yes.
because of how it has like decayed over
Deteriorated,
the years, but it's still.
They said that was the best existing suit left over, and that's another thing that's so sad is all the all the old foam latex stuff and all the latex things have just disintegrated over time. So it's very difficult stuff to take care of and really preserve well, but they're doing a great job. So
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's been the coolest part of this job, hands down. It's amazing.
All right. Well, if we don't have any more questions, well, let's show our video, and then when we come back, we have another more it's the Q&A segment that tends to be a little bit more generic and not as specific.
Okay,
so if
cool.
you'd like to stick around for
I would
that.
love to. Absolutely.
All right. So let's watch another video really quick, and when we come back, it's Q&A time and also live giveaway time. So that's exciting too. So we'll be right back.
Okay. Nailed it.
It's always fun having guests because we just kind of chat and don't really pay attention to everything else. So we are hearing people. We're getting counted down, and we're just laughing about stuff. That's anyway. So who has the best Jedi robe?
Oh.
BE Outdoors wants to know.
What? I wonder what they're referencing there,
I
to
don't-
buy or who?
I think he means in the movies, not
Who has the best
is mine
Jedi
better
robe?
than yours?
Okay.
Because obviously yours is better since you won't make me any.
Oh. Okay. Well, it's been fun, everybody. Thank you for that. Best Jedi robe. That's
Obi-Wan?
I mean, Obi-Wan's
Iconic.
Jedi robe perfection,
Yeah.
but it's also the simplest one too. I mean, if we're talking about old Obi, they got a lot more technical in the prequels, but they're also beautiful in the prequels. I gotta say, I really love the designs there. So let's just say Luke in Jabba's palace, and that's just an awesome cloak.
That's just all. But ultimately, though, he's just wearing black.
No, that hood is all brown.
No,
His
not
cape is
talking about the
brown.
cape. I'm talking about when he takes it off and he's
I said, who's the best robe? Okay.
Oh, robe.
All right, Susan,
I thought you
come
meant
on.
outfit as a whole.
No.
Outfit as a whole. Okay.
All right, good.
What is your secret outfit that you only wear around the house?
Yeesh.
Dave Smith wants to know.
Oh man,
I mean,
it's nothing that awesome, unfortunately. We have a very I think capes are probably my favoriteest things ever. Just as a garment and people wearing them, even though essentially they're useless. I think they're just the coolest.
Who are you talking to? What do you mean capes are useless?
Well, okay, I mean, as a garment, other than looking absolutely amazing.
They look amazing,
potentially
and
keeping you warm from
it's
time to
walking
time.
blankets
Okay, all right, it is. Yeah.
or sun
Well, if you
protection.
throw a hood on there, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Or I guess
there
if
you
you're new
go.
Batman, you can fly with it.
Ryan
what I
on
said.
Facebook wants
First,
to know
Bert? Tim didn't answer this last question about what he secretly wears around the house.
That's correct. Go ahead. What's the question?
Sorry.
Yep, and just leave it at that.
We tried to help you.
Wants to know if you worked on Mythos Obi-Wan, but he didn't specify if it was the statue or the 6th scale. But did you
Ah.
see Mythos Obi-Wan?
I actually did not. On the original Mythos,
Sculpt. No, what?
he was all sculpt.
Yeah, he was
The
all
original
sculpt.
that whole Mythos line was sculpt. But on the 6th scale, I did not work on that. But I would like to make a quarter scale one day. But
That would be secretly
that'll be my own private collection one.
He would just make a little quarter scale Obi-Wan robe.
Thank
With
you
his
for
tiny
that.
sewing machine.
That's it. Thank you for claw hands. That's wonderful. Yep.
I just go T-Rex on you. Tim, are you dark side or light?
Oh. I'd have to say light side.
Yes.
I'd have to say that. I'll just be honest. I'd like to pretend to be cool and say dark side, but I'd just be lying to you guys. Much more of a light side guy.
All right. What can you? These questions are scrolling very fast. What is the most challenging type of fabric to work with? Jesse Hernandez asks.
That's a good question. I really dislike sewing very sheer materials. It's very tricky. Like sheer crepe, for example, is.
But it snags.
It snags. Yeah, and you have to use a very special needle for it. Of course, it's a real pain. Actually, it's not my favorite thing to do. I have worked with it a few times, but I'd prefer not to when I don't have to. That and a lot of like satins and things tend to be a little woodgy, as we call it. As in, when you're trying to sew them, they like to slip around and not
They don't
not
do what
obey.
they're told.
Yeah, exactly. They don't with my tiny sewing machine. So there's a few that aren't my favorite to work with.
Batman Statue Collector wants to know, Tim, what item would you like to work on that Sideshow does not own the license to?
Okay.
I know.
No,
I think
you
I
don't.
know. No,
Do
I
you? Oh, go
I think
ahead.
I
You
know.
know a different.
No.
Okay, you know a different. Go ahead.
Well, I know.
What does Susan think?
Well, I know what your
probably
wife
yours.
wants you to work on.
Right. Yes. I think everybody knows that.
Yeah, we know what your wife wants you to work on. And so I just imagined that would translate into yours.
Right. Well, and it does. That's definitely at the top. I would say Dream One is so obscure. I mean, it probably wouldn't ever be made. Andy, ready?
I'm ready.
Frank Langella as Skeletor. Masters of the Universe movie. That's the one. Okay? That's it. That's what you get. That would be a
Because I
dream
would have
project.
to own that in my house.
It's so necessary of a thing.
Yeah.
That's it. Otherwise, we were talking about Harry Potter, which is
Yeah.
at the top. And then, of course, Game of Thrones, everything, because that's unbelievable
Oh my
stuff.
God, but that fabric.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
That's
Okay, I
something.
get that.
That's
Just the,
dream
like, the
status
layer.
for sure.
I'm just even thinking of like across just one character.
Yeah. Got a lot of options for everybody
Yeah.
in that show.
Like where do you, like at what point during the arc would you even pick?
Right. Yeah.
So good.
A lot of decisions to be made there. But yes, that would be amazing.
What can you say about Captain America Ally Charge Hydra clothes?
What can I say about them? Well, I can say that they're awesome. I can also get another shout out to Esther, who actually handled that one. So actually, yeah, that one, if I remember correctly, was done. He has a kind of fabric wrapped around. You remember the Ally Charge?
I do remember that
Yes.
one. Yeah.
And he's got some leather work and stuff.
Yeah,
to
I
go.
remember that one.
Yeah, great piece, really great piece. Esther did a great job. That was one of her first PFs, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, she did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the red. Yeah, I remember that. That
yeah.
was
Really
from
nice
the
piece.
beginning of Me as well.
Yeah, back then, huh? Good times. I could say that that was another kind of. I mean, the pants were a little tricky, if I recall correctly. The style that we were going for and the design, and the waist was a combination of stretchy and non-stretch material, and all asymmetrical to compensate for how much he's twisting in his torso and stuff. So that was a really cool project.
So we're going to take a slight break from questions. We'll come right back to them to tell you guys that that we're going to be giving away 2 prizes in the chat channels. As of now, in Facebook, we have a first order TIE Pilot 6 scale figure. And in YouTube, we have a first order Squad Leader 6 scale figure.
Nice.
So those 2 are going to be given away live. So be sure you're participating, talking to Michael, talking to Chicky and Kitty, because they will be pulling the winners. Also, we would like to announce that Christopher Harner from the U.S. won the Hot Toys endoskeleton on Judgment Day, which that's really scary if you think about it.
That was.
So there you go. Congratulations to Christopher. And Cesari would like to know who has the best cape across comics, movies, and everything. The best cape.
I don't know if I can handle that question right now. It's blowing my mind. The best cape. Gotta have to stew on that for a minute. There are some glorious, glorious capes out there. Really magnificent. But I maybe. I mean, I think capes, and that's another thing that's fantastic about Game of Thrones is that they pretty much figure out. I mean, I love when there's a bunch of excess material and there's a lot of draping going on. That So yeah, I mean, probably. Who specifically? I'm sorry. I wish I could answer that a little better. But,
Who has the best cape?
The best cape is a near impossible question. Right? Like, how do you answer that?
Well, because they do have different functions. Yeah.
Sure, they do.
Well, I mean, like, Batman and Batman the Animated Series could be like,
Yeah.
and then Superman is a little bit more of a like.
Well, Superman's run
It's like
all sizes,
yeah,
you know,
it can
but it's
either
got the
be-
logo on the back. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm definitely more of a logo on the back of the cape guy. But yeah, that's a real tough one. Maybe I'll have to sit on it
Well,
for a
yeah.
minute and find out. But
I'm like Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, that's a cloak.
Doctor Strange,
It's called the Cloak of
it is
Levitation.
cloaked. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it was really embarrassing.
Hashtag nerds. You put us on camera because we're nerds.
It's kind of got a mind of its own too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Batman's electric one from The Dark Knight. That's a
Right.
good one.
Yeah. Well, that one's like
The little short cape.
Oh, the capelet. I call it a capelet.
that is a capelet. That's what I would call it as well. That was
Yep.
adorable.
I'm also looking.
Ooh, Spawn's cape from Charles. That's
Ooh.
You know what? I think
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah, I think I'd say it. Not from the movie, but I would say comic Spawn cape is unbelievably awesome. So let's do that.
All right. Have you ever been distracted while sewing and accidentally sewed your Halloween costume into your hand? Like he did one year, Joe Lombardo. Yeah.
Really sorry to hear that, Joe. I
Yeah.
hope you're okay.
Yeah.
Super villain origin.
I have.
Joe Lombardo is going to be Tim's nemesis. Hashtag
some-
drunk sewing.
Oh, that's great. I have sewn to my hand quite a bit. Yes, I have quite a few. And some of these projects that I probably don't need to name have, you know.
Oh, Cesari's pulling out
Yeah.
an old hashtag from a past live stream that you got nerded. Remember that? Like Dave Igo and I apparently nerded people. Anyway, so now we're going to have to nerd people. The Vision cape in MCU is also a really good one.
Oh yeah, that one's
So
cool.
Emma Organdi won the YouTube prize.
All right.
Which I believe is the commander,
The squad leader.
the squad leader.
Squad leader.
Squad leader. So Emma, congratulations.
Congratulations, Emma.
You are going to, thank you. You are going to want to email social@sideshow.com with the subject line, first order squad leader, and then put where you want it shipped in the body of the email. So that's social@sideshow.com, Stormtrooper squad leader. First order squad leader. First order squad leader, sorry. And then Jason Black is our winner. Because Jason Black is not just here for the codes. So, way to go,
Alright.
Jason. You won the first order tie pilot. So you write first order tie pilot when you email social@sideshow.com where you want it shipped in the email. Basically, it's prize in the subject line where you want it shipped in the body of the email. So there you go. We have a couple more questions, and
Yes.
then we're going to wrap it up.
All right, great.
Did you ever make a costume piece only to find out they moved to sculpt? James Dewberry would like to know. I feel like that happens a lot.
Yeah, that does tend to happen from time to time.
Aw.
Yeah, that has. Normally, though, if it's a complex piece, by the time it's sculpted, I mean that all those decisions really have to be made by the time it gets to me. Whether or not they're going, with sculpt, or we can use a mixed media kind of thing. So there have been a few that I've been very disappointed not to be able to really dive in and make some suits, or whatever the case may be. But,
So Maxter2 wants to know, what sort of machine do you use to sew leather?
Yeah, that's a good question there. I use my industrial. We don't obviously, for scale reasons, don't need to go super heavy on the leather. So if I do need to stitch down, I have a Sunstar kind of built-in industrial machine that handles that stuff like it's paper, basically. So it's a great machine.
So then we have our final question is going to be, what costume are you currently dressing your porgs in, and what is in for porgs this season?
First of all, do you know what a porg is?
Okay.
Okay, Kitty.
Excuse me, Kitty. What is going on here? Who is this? Do you know what a porg is?
Yeah.
I didn't buy like 50 of them the other night like some people did.
Okay, it's not even my fault. I live with someone who's obsessed with them. I personally think that they should be space chickens and that we should enjoy them for meals.
I prefer the name Space Chicken, personally. I don't know what kind of weather they're contending with these porgs. So
Well, it seems like they're hopping on the Millennium Falcon. There's
does-
that picture
it
of
is
that
that
one
way.
with Chewie.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you guys watching Star Wars blips? Are you watching Star?
Is that the little animated thing?
The little animated
Yeah,
thing?
I see
Oh my
pictures of
God.
them, but usually when there's porgs, I don't.
Oh my god. No, but this one's the little porg who's making mischief on the Millennium Falcon, and then BB-8 just grabs him. Like, BB-8's not having it. He's like, nope, porg.
This one's for dinner.
Yeah, and it makes me super happy.
Good.
Joe
Yeah.
Lombardo says, whoa, shade from Kitty.
How about that? Okay, cool. I'm not going to forget that one. Yes,
All right, well,
that seemed like more of a funky question.
that is a really funky question. So let's end
Let's
with
end
a serious one. When you
Yes.
watch a movie, do you look at costumes and worry about having to recreate them?
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. I don't worry though. There's really very few things I genuinely worry about when I see movies. Like I think with that, as far as like the technology is and infusing fabrics and making stuff that's custom and all that, really it's so cool to actually dive into them. Really more my concern is how much I personally am invested in the character that I'm watching as opposed to a costume or anything, because they can get outrageously tricky and very technical, but it's cool to still be challenged all the time, and that's really what this department is just a constant way to figure out how to clothe these guys and make it look like they're quarter scale versions of what we see on screen
I'm just
or
watching
comics
all
or
the
any of
Porg
that fun
comments
stuff.
go through.
Porg Pliskin.
Porg Pliskin, Porg Dameron.
Yeah, that's good.
We're just-
Porgs are gonna rule everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah. all this
So
time. I mean, if I knew what a porg was, I guess that would help. Also.
right,
Yeah.
because porgs have
remember?
been nowhere.
Just because Susan never talks about them.
Yeah, and we also, they're not all over the internet.
Right. Yep.
Anyway.
Good. Yes.
So
cool stuff.
Yeah, so thank you, Tim, for
You're
coming on the
welcome.
show. We
Thank
had
you.
such a great show for you guys today.
Thanks
We
so much.
unboxed Freddy Krueger, where you can still enter for a chance to win. Sideshow.com/live contest. We showed you a feature on Darkseid. We showed you a feature on Black Cat, the premium art print and the premium format figure. We had Tim on to talk about the Harley and Joker premium format figures from Suicide Squad. Specifically, though, we really talked about the fabric elements, which are stunning and amazing. So good job there.
Thank you
Don't
very
forget,
much.
we're giving away the Black Cat print via her RSVP list. So that's sideshow.com/BC print. We did 2 live giveaways in the chat channel. We dropped a code at some point. I don't even know when they did that. So that happened. Remember to go to sideshow.com/notify to stay up to date with everything that's happening. We're headed over to Instagram for the after party. So thank you for watching Sideshow Live. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Thank you guys all
Thank
for
you.
watching.